Friday night Newsnight with Victoria Derbyshire on BBC Two.
Philip Schofield bares his soul, attempts to quash some of what he says were untruths, and tries to change the narrative about his relationship with a younger colleague. What are the questions now for ITV? The mother of Caroline Flack, an ITV presenter who took her own life during intense media scrutiny 3 years ago, tells this programme ITV haven't learned the lessons since then.
They treat them as commodities, and I know it's a lovely job and I know they earn money, but also the television stations that earn money from them. But they're not commodities, they're people.
We ask a former Sky and ITV executive and a former culture minister what questions they want ITV to answer now. Also tonight, ahead of the inauguration of President Erdogan of Turkey tomorrow, we'll ask what that means for the rest of the world. And this. Matilda composer, actor and lyricist Tim Minchin on his next musical, Groundhog Day. He talks about rejection, his mental health, and the policing of language.
My super progressive lefty friends who say there is no such thing as cancel culture, it's just powerful people getting what they deserve. I mean, that is gaslightingly naive.
Good evening. It's been a week since Philip Schofield issued a statement confirming a relationship, unwise, he said, but not illegal, with a junior colleague at This Morning and resigned from ITV. 7 days on, when the BBC broadcast its full interview with him this morning, the former presenter appeared to many to wear the visible scars of a man who's confronted a new reality. Admitting in full detail the extent of the lies he said he told to his family, friends, colleagues, agents and bosses, Philip Schofield denied grooming the young man he first encountered aged just 15, but acknowledged his conduct meant his career was now over. He talked too of the pressure he's felt amidst the glare of publicity as the scandal has unfolded, and referencing the suicide of Caroline Flack, a fellow former ITV star who'd faced her own difficulties. He said it was the love of his daughters that had kept him from the same fate. We'll hear in a moment from Caroline Flack's mum and discuss the lasting implications of this episode for ITV, whose boss has been summoned to face questions from MPs over the scandal.
Are you feeling okay to do this? Are you feeling strong enough to do this interview?
Yeah, I have to. It is relentless, and it is day after day after day after day. And if you do that, if you don't think that that is going to have the most catastrophic effect on someone's mind.
An interview that was essentially a plea for mercy and an unreserved apology for the inappropriate sexual relationship he admitted to when he says the young man was 20.
You know, obviously I will regret forever for him and for me, mostly him. But that happened maybe 4 or 5 times over the next few months. And I know it's unforgivable.
But on the most damaging allegation of grooming the other person while he was a minor, he gave a flat denial.
It was a totally innocent picture, a totally innocent Twitter follow, and then it was a completely innocent backwards and forwards over a period of time about a job, about careers. You know, I mean, you do that. What's wrong with that?
On This Morning, his former colleagues reacted.
But I remember what my mum said. My mum always said, you know, use your Bible as your sat-nav in life, Al. And in the Bible it says, he without sin cast the first stone.
Philip Schofield spoke of what can happen when, as he puts it, the coverage becomes utterly relentless and out of control. He pointed to the suicide in 2020 of the former ITV presenter Caroline Flack.
How much do you want a man to take? And are you truly only happy when he's dead? And this is how Caroline Flack felt. And it didn't stop And I know I've done something wrong. I know I've done something wrong. I've owned up to doing something wrong.
You can watch the full interview Philip Schofield did with Amal Rajan on iPlayer. I've been talking to the mum of Caroline Flack. Caroline was facing prosecution for assaulting her boyfriend when she killed herself in February 2020. She'd been a presenter on ITV's Love Island. Christine Flack says she believes the broadcaster hasn't learned the lessons since her daughter's death. I first asked her what she thought as the situation with Philip Schofield played out.
It worries me because it's relentless on him. I feel, I do feel worried for him.
He actually talked about your daughter, Caroline, in his interview. He said, and I'll quote it for you, "It is day after day after day after day. If you do that, if you don't think that is going to have the most catastrophic effect on someone's mind, do you want me to die? I have lost everything. My girls saved my life. If my girls hadn't been there, I wouldn't be here because I don't see a future. How much do you want a man to take? And are you truly only happy when he's dead?" And this is how Caroline felt. And it didn't stop.
That's exactly how she felt. Every day she'd try and be a bit stronger, which I should imagine Philip is. And but you get more and more thrown at you. And, it's not only him, it is his daughters. And luckily he's got them there for support, but it's his family.
Why do you think he referenced Caroline?
He knew Caroline, and I must say when she died, he was very upset. And I think he's now realising even more what she went through. But until it happens to you, you feel sad, but you don't understand.
Do you think ITV have learned enough after the death of your daughter when it comes to a duty of care, both to Philip Schofield and also the young man involved as well?
No, they haven't learnt anything. They haven't. They treat them as commodities. And I know it's a lovely job and I know they earn money, but also the television stations that earn money from them. But they're not commodities, they're people and they're employed. And if my employee didn't take care of me, there'd be all hell to pay. And there's not, they're just sidelined and not protected.
What would be your message tonight, if you have one, to the young man and to Philip Schofield?
I hate the thought that Philip and this young man are going through such an awful time. It's bad enough when it's in private, but when it's in every single paper, let's hope for the best. And, I said my regards to Philip and the young lad, and hope they get over this. And they will. Don't do anything silly, or you've got your daughters, you've got your friends. And I hope the young lad's got someone as well that they can talk to.
Christine Flack. And if you need an organisation to contact to help with any of the kind of conversations we're having tonight, please do contact the BBC's Action Line. You can see all the details are on your screen now. In response to Christine Flack's interview with us, an ITV spokesperson said, "The relationships we have with those we work with are based on trust. Philip made assurances to us and his agency, which he now acknowledges were untrue, and we feel badly let down. As a producer and broadcaster, ITV takes its responsibilities around duty of care seriously and has robust and well-established processes in place to support the mental and physical health of employees and all those we work with." Let's talk now to former Culture Minister Lord Vasey and